the Knights, dedicated to Christ and his Holy Mother.
We are the Knights of St. Michael.
When God created Eve, his very first words and blessings were, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth." God intended for this blessing to carry on throughout all generations. But radical feminists reject this role and claim it's impossible for women to find satisfaction simply as a mother and housewife. They believe the only life worthy of respect is one devoted to the workplace, even if that means not having children at all, or having their children raised by others. But it is a fact that no one will be ever able to replace a mother's love and vigilant care. No one will be so delighted as a mother with her baby's first steps, nor would anyone be so patient when baby is sick and tiresome. No one but a mother can give a child the unselfish love and patience that he needs. Why? Simply because no one can replace a child's mother. The great Cardinal Manzetti once wrote of the importance of motherhood. He said, "A mother is the most important person on earth. She cannot claim the honor of having built Notre Dame Cathedral. She need not. She has built something more magnificent than any cathedral, a dwelling for an immortal soul, the tiny perfection of her baby's body." The angels have not been blessed with such a grace. They cannot share in God's creative miracle of bringing future saints into existence. Only a human mother and father can. God joins forces with them in performing this act of creation. What on God's good earth is more glorious than to be a mother? This quote describes the true mission and scope of a mother's work here on earth. Motherhood is a vocation. It is a calling. It is a noble sacrifice. Come with the Knights as we take a deeper look into the role of motherhood and open our eyes to the beauty and blessings of a child. The Knights are on now. It's nighttime.
Have you not heard the words of the great prophet Isaiah? Give ear, ye islands, and hearken ye people from afar. The Lord has called me from the womb, from the body of my mother. He has been mindful of my name. He made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand he protected me. He made me as a chosen arrow. In his quiver he has hidden me and said to me, Thou art my servant Israel, for in thee I will glory. And I said, I have labored in vain. I have spent my strength without cause. Therefore my judgment is with the Lord, and my work with my God. And now saith the Lord, that formed me from the womb to be his servant. For I am glorified in the eyes of the Lord, and my God is my strength. He saith, Behold, I have given thee to be the light to the nations, that thou may be my salvation, even to the end of the earth. Give praise, O ye heavens, and rejoice, O earth. Ye mountains, give praise with jubilation, because the Lord hath comforted his people, and will have mercy on his poor ones. But Zion said, The Lord has forsaken me. My Lord has forgotten me. And the Lord said, can a woman forget her infant so as not to have pity on the son of her womb? And even if she should forget, yet I will not forget thee. Behold, I have carved thee in my hands.
Hello, and welcome to Warn World News. I'm Dan.
And I'm Mary. Our top story, mothers, don't forget your children.
Parents are bound by a divine law to teach and train their children in the faith. But it is the mother who is the first and the most influential. The child who receives both life and nutrition from his mother also learns his greatest lessons at her knees. An old Danish proverb says, "A rich child often sits in a poor mother's lap."
Surprisingly, the perceptive mind of a small child can easily absorb complicated ideas. Experts assure us that the high ideals taught during early childhood set the standards which form the dreams and aspirations of later life. Images planted in these impressionable days later develop into strong beliefs, which the adult may live or die for.
And if parents are to fulfill their great mission in life, they must build a sacred sanctuary, a home, where peace and love reign in spite of the disorder and chaos of the outside world. They must prevent blasphemy and all moral danger from spilling over into this sacred space. Short tempers can lead to arguments, which quickly destroy the beauty of the one secure place that children so desperately need.
So many times, instead of finding relief in the home from hassles of daily life, the children only find life's problems more intense. Then the family home, instead of an earthly paradise, becomes a purgatory, if not even a hell on earth.
In other words, your home should be a little bit of heaven, a place of refuge from all the frustrations and evil of the world. It should be a holy place where children can always find sympathy, encouragement, and spiritual inspiration.
Signing off from WARN World News, I'm Mary.
And I'm Dan. You have been warned.
Statue Awards. We're here in the heart of Hollywood, and I promise you it's going to be a major star-studded evening. Tonight is the most important annual celebrity event in showbiz, and we're going to check out the newest designer fashions and newborn Hollywood stars. Meet my co-host, Dan the Man.
Thanks, Liz. You know, people started arriving early today for this black tie affair, especially to catch a glimpse of the stars of that award-winning new show, Renee Exposé. That action-packed new film sensation that has stirred up so much debate. Let's take a look at our audience, see what they've got to say.
Sounds good to me, Dan.
Hello. Now, it looks like you're one of the lucky few who get to see the celebrities arrive and walk down the red carpet.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Well, tell me, who is it that you're most excited to see this year?
No contest, Dan. Sir Rene David has captured the hearts of every woman, young and old. When I first saw him, I knew he was destined for great things and a dream come true for the young people.
Oh, there is no doubt there, Dan, no doubt. He began his screen career in Hollywood at a very young age and quickly became the most famous young star of all time. Fans love his edgy new films and have bought millions of dollars worth of his endorsed products. Clothing, cologne, golf clubs, anything with his handsome face on it. Sir David has definitely been the #1 box office champion for the last several months. Should we take a chat over here, Dan?
Take another look.
All right, who are you here to see?
The one, the only himself. He's one cool dude. Man, that guy can crawl. You know what I mean?
He is a great crawler, Dan. Well, oh, I think I see a couple of major role players walking down the carpet right now. Let's see if I can get their attention. In the meantime, Dan went to track down two very esteemed figures in the Hollywood industry. Dan, are you there?
Yeah, Liz, I found him. Mr. Powerhouse and his brother, Mr. Powerhouse. Well, you two have done more for the entertainment industry than anybody realizes. But tell us, because we are just dying to know, what is the name of your designer?
Our designer?
Prada, of course.
Yes, there you have it. Prada is the designer well known for understated luxury and famous clients. Back to you, Lizzie.
Look, here comes the prominent mother of Sir Rene David. Excuse me, Miss David.
Yes.
Could you please tell us about your celebrated son?
Absolutely. With all due modesty, I can say, from the beginning, I was convinced my son had exceptional talent. So I enrolled him in a highly competitive school of drama. After winning the American Talent Search, he has skyrocketed to stardom. The rest is history.
Thank you, Mrs. David, for your time.
Thanks.
And now, from all the cheering, I think he's arrived.
Nominated for Greatest Achievement Award this year is Sir Rene David of international fame.
Let's welcome Sir Rene David II, Grand Prize winner of the International Bambini Film Festival. Now, sir, will you tell us what designer you're wearing? Your own? That's a very good choice.
Excellent choice. Let's take a look at one of those prize-winning Rene expose films, shall we?
Goodbye, baby, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
We have to know the inspiration behind your work. Well, there you have it. We are definitely looking forward to the next year to see what new accomplishments Sir Rene has made. We believe in the awesome power of babies, and we also believe this golden statuette definitely illustrates the profound influence babies have on the world.
Take a walk down memory lane with me, Minnie. Let's look back on our rich history to the days of the Old Testament, when, once upon a time, people saw children as a blessing. And if they weren't able to have children, they thought it to be a curse from the Most High. They actually obeyed his first commandment to increase and multiply. Ha! It has taken me centuries, but I've finally figured out a way to make them despise their very nature and reject the blessing of children.
That was an easy one.
A woman can only be a mother through self-sacrifice. She has to offer her body, her life, her love for that child, not just for 9 months while the kid is in the womb, but for years after. It was easy to convince women their freedom was way more important than a long-term dependent.
They used to have lots of children. Increase and multiply. Why? Just because God asked you to? Not anymore. That commandment was meant for a different time and a different people. So I am writing a new commandment. Stop the sacrifice, forget your children.
Ah, sacrifice is an ugly, dirty word, especially when it's self-sacrifice. Giving up what you want forever, bringing a child into your life, a child who will take up all your time, spend all your money, keep you from doing what you want to do.
Let someone else have the children. You're the master of your own life. Why mess with a good thing? This is your body and your choice. Stop the sacrifice, forget your children.
Oh, Mr. Positive, that's brilliant. Taking the joy out of parenthood and focusing on the tragedy of self-sacrifice. They won't see anyone but themselves.
We have made them so self-absorbed, they have no idea how cute a child is. Instead, he's annoying, demanding, and cries too much. We have convinced humans to turn against other humans, even their own flesh and blood.
Ha ha ha! How successful we've become, Mr. Positive. We have turned all mankind upside down. Babies are not a gift, they're a curse. And pregnancy is a disease. Just think of all the babies who should be here. But thanks to us, they have been conveniently removed from the thoughts and memories of the public.
It used to be said, the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. But how about this? The hand that robs the cradle rules the world.
To be a good mother takes great sacrifice, and for the most part, no one sees or appreciates what they do.
Yeah. You know what? A few years ago, I found an amazing poem about this young mother who lived in the early 1900s. She was a widow whose baby came down with a terrible fever, but she didn't have a car or transportation to get to the doctor, so she just bundled up the baby and went out looking for help. The problem was they got caught in a terrible winter storm.
As the howling north wind swept across the sky, only the mountain heard her cry. During the darkest hour of the night, a mother wandered with her child. Her baby sleeping at her breast,
Yet colder still the winds did blow. The only path disappearing silently beneath the blinding snow.
The late Jesuit Father John Hardin was asked at a retreat, "What can a concerned person do about abortion?"
And Father answered, "Have another child." Holy Mother Church urges all newly married couples to accept children with joy and love. The traditional Catholic wedding vows are preceded by this question from the priest: will you accept children lovingly from God and bring them up accordingly to the laws of Christ and His Church? The bride and groom then join hands and exchange vows before God and His Church that they will accept all the children God will send. It is a most important exchange. Their vows contain such love and devotion that it brings tears to the eyes of every mother who hears it. It means that from this day forward, the bride has offered herself to God to be the vehicle by which new lives may enter the world. And this most wondrous gift also gives these fortunate children the opportunity to live with God for all eternity. Mother Teresa has said, "Motherhood is the gift of God to women, and that special power of loving that belongs to a woman is seen most clearly when she becomes a mother. No job, no plans, no possessions, no idea of freedom can take the place of love. A child is God's greatest gift to the family, the nation, to the world." Mother Teresa also said, "Saying there are too many children is like saying there are too many flowers. The child is a life from God, created in the image of God, created for great things, to love and to be loved. Every child is precious." Renee, we have to know. What's the inspiration behind your work? It was that bad? Who are you working for? You want a new agent?